So how do you go from that to your next thing? Like, what was the transition like for that?
Yeah.
Tell them what the next thing is, and then let's hear about the transition.
Okay.
Because they might be waiting.
Yeah. So what I'm currently doing now is completely different. So for the record, I have retired. I'm no longer touring.
Yeah.
Your number is disconnected for the illusionist hotline.
100% disconnected. Yeah. Don't call me.
26 years later?
26 years. I traveled about 300 days a year.
300 days a year?
Yeah. Did over 100 shows a year for all those. I mean, I put in a lot of time on stage, and it was great. I have no regrets, but God's given me something new, and I am so passionate about it that I don't want any distractions. I thought, when God gave me this new idea, which I'm about to explain it, but I thought maybe I could continue to do some of my shows because that was like comfortable and normal, and that's how I made a living. But God was like, no, I got something bigger than you think. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So here's what it is. I started by riding my motorcycle across the country.
For those on YouTube, that was this a moment ago. Right. I just realized YouTube is a great audience. Hello. But a minute ago, I was acting like I was dealing cards. That was my first clue. And then I did the vroom vroom signal. Yeah. And I should have done this.
I thought you were eating sushi.
No, that was me dealing cards, bro.
Saying you dealt 21 in Vegas.
You can deal some serious cards too, by the way. But anyway, so now this is the vroom vroom signal for those who were not on YouTube. So what's the vroom vroom? Yeah.
So, I'll just tell you the kind of how it came. I ride motorcycles now. I'm a professional motorcycle rider, which I know sounds really strange. And how can that be a ministry? But that's what I do now. How that came about was we worked really hard doing touring. We worked, as I said, about 300 days a year. We were pushing hard. And after a lot of years, we were smoked. We were pretty tired. Yeah. So when COVID started, did you hear about COVID? It was on the news.
I know. So maybe.
When that started, it was like the greatest thing that ever happened because I was forced to sit on the couch for a few weeks and just like had this big exhale. And I was like, I'm never going back to that. That pace, that intensity, I realized how it was destroying my life because I was just working too hard. Even later when I was like learning to take days off and all the things that God was showing me, it still wasn't enough to keep up with the amount of intensity.
Okay.
You mentioned one of the things I was doing on stage earlier, the going underwater and escaping from chains, going up in the above the audience on a 20-foot pole and shooting blindfolded, my bow to hit a blindfolded, hitting a card on stage. The amount of adrenaline to go and do that on stages didn't matter if it was only 500 people in a room or if it was 25,000 people in a room.
Interesting.
The amount of adrenaline was hitting me every night.
100 nights,
starting to
300 nights or so, whatever.
100 shows a year, 125, 130 shows a year. Like the amount I couldn't recover. My body was not recovering.
And you weren't drinking and drugging and all that and that people do to deal with all that. You were just raw.
I had no way to process all of that emotion. And I'm even getting tense just telling you right now. Right?
Yeah.
I'm starting to sweat just telling you like what that was. Yeah. I was on tour with Crowder when I was doing one of these stunts, and it got to where I was just like, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. I can't, we have to change the subject. Like my heart's beating heavy over here.
Incredible.
Like, I'm telling you, man, it was so when COVID started, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so different. Yeah. And I was like, this is, it's just like, I didn't know what to do. This is amazing. I could rest and I craved it so bad. And I knew I did. And then not to mention all of the other things personal, like within my circle of influence, or I would say within my community, people who are having life problems and divorces and all of these things the last couple of years leading up to this moment. So when COVID started, I was on the couch going, I saw all the shows, everything canceled, as you know, everything shut down. And I was like, I will start back up when the world comes alive again, but I will not go back to that 125 show, 150 shows a year pace again. Okay. I can't do that. It's unwise. I can't handle it. My body's going to break. So that was kind of the beginning of this new thing. Let me speed up a little bit here.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just thinking, 150 sounds like a lot, but in some ways it kind of doesn't. But at the same time, dude, that's every other day almost. That's a lot.
Yeah.
a lot. I'm thinking, oh, that's, you know, that's every weekend. No, that's 2 a week or more, you know.
Yeah.
That's so much. And the travel and the setup and the hotel and then out of the hotel and then going back and doing it again. And then the adrenaline once it's showtime.
And then
that is
and then
so
the
much.
travel days too. You know? So it was intense. And I was not looking for an exit out of it. I just wanted to have a slower pace because, you know, 25 years into it, it was like the next 25 years can't be at that same breakneck pace or I won't survive, you know? So anyway, in that time of being, you know, slower with the schedule, I was like, I'm going to ride my motorcycle across the country. I love and I've always ridden. I've raced motorcycles. It's always been it's been a part of the show, as you know. I was just like, I've been hearing about this, what's called the Trans-America Trail. It's a dirt road system that goes from coast to coast. I'm going to finally do it. I've been talking about it for 10 years. I'm just going to do it. So I bought a motorcycle that would be specific for this, an adventure bike, put knobby tires on it. And I started riding from the Atlantic coast, Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, and rode all the way across America, 6,500 miles. Took me 35 days.
On a dirt bike, that is, by the way.
Yeah, Port Orford, Oregon. And along the way, I heard God. Because here we are again, riding 10 hours a day with earplugs in.
Chainsaw rewind.
There you go.
Yeah, he's talking again.
And I began to hear the voice of God. I wasn't asking him for a new life or a new career. That was not on the radar.
Yeah.
I was just, that wasn't even part of it. I just knew I needed to be a little bit more wise with how I scheduled. But God goes, I got something for you. And I'm like, I know that voice. I know that voice. I'm like, listen, I'm listening. And he goes, yeah, I got something for you. This motorcycle thing, you're connecting with people along the way, which I
yes.
Lots of stories, but
well, that's what you
connecting with people along the way, just on the side of the road or at the gas station and introducing them to Jesus in various ways. He goes, I want you to keep doing this. And I'm like, I don't think I'm hearing this right. You know? And it felt very familiar to 1997 when it was working at a sawmill. And he said, I got something for you. It was that same voice with earplugs in. So by the time I got to the West Coast, I was just different. Like I knew life just changed. And I said to Ani, my wife Ani, I said, I've heard God. He wants us to do a ministry with motorcycles. As soon as I finally kind of made that decision, it was like full surrender. We're going to do this. I told her, I was like, but we'll still do our shows. We'll still travel, but I'm going to do this motorcycle thing. She goes, that's great. What we need to do is start praying about like how to do it. And the phone rang. It's my assistant. She goes, hey, your fall tour just canceled. I said, spooky. That's weird. I was like, what do you mean it canceled? She's like, the entire tour canceled. I had 25 dates that were going to be my fall tour. I said, okay.
Hashtag pay the bills.
Yeah.
And now cancel. And now you're like, I want you to just ride around on a motorcycle telling people about Jesus. Like what?
It makes no sense. And so I said, Ani, I think, I was like, the show, it just canceled. She goes, well, maybe we should just ride more. That's what we just heard God say. Maybe we should just go do another ride. I was like, all right, let's do it. She said, but you need new gear. And I was like, you're right.
I was about to already say, this is a great wife. Now she says you need new gear. I'm like, this wife is
perfect one.
Yeah. She's my favorite wife.
She's your best
Favorite
one.
wife.
She's my favorite one.
Wow.
I say that to my wife all the time.
She said you need new gear, and I was like, well, I can't afford it. It's expensive. And now that the tour's canceled, I have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my phone buzzed.
Oh, geez.
I go, I look at it. I'm like, it's my friend Nathan.
It's Revit.
I don't know if you know Revit. He goes, hey, do you need any riding gear? I was like,
what?
Yeah. He goes, what size? What brand do you like? And I told him, he goes, I got that size and that brand here.
Good Lord.
Do you want it? I was like, yes.
God.
He had no idea. He hadn't texted me in 3 months or 6 months. I don't even know. It was so out of the order. It was so random, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm hearing God right now. And so lots of other things, but those were some highlights.
Yeah,
so we went and started doing our next ride and finished that ride up. God did amazing things on that ride. I rode all the way up to New York from from
So you're like
Tennessee.
recording it. You're
Filming
making a
it.
YouTube
Yep.
thing. Not even maybe yet, but you're
I was filming it. I was riding every day.
you
and
had
then
cameras on
filming
your
it.
bike, cameras on your helmet.
Yep, cameras
your
all
Ani's
around, drones.
filming some stuff.
I got all kinds of cameras going.
And it's you and her. She's following you in a van.
She's not following me because I'm going places that
Oh,
cars
that's
can't
right.
go.
Right, not on the Panama.
But I am meeting her every night. We have a Sprinter van that we travel in, and so she'll go find a campsite, and I'll see in 8 or 10 hours.
Wow.
And I follow these maps and go through dirt roads and crossing creeks and mountains and rocky roads until I get to her. And that's our life. So
That sounds awesome.
and that's turned into like, I'm now doing events and I'm doing a Bible study for guys that I meet along the way. They're coming and camping with me. And then I do a Zoom Bible study every Wednesday night.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So it's just like people are basically, I'm creating that metaphorical campfire and then having people come around, you know? So it's just a different type of stage. Ironically, and this is what I didn't realize, you know, as I told you, I thought that I was going to continue to do shows, but God started saying, no, that's a bad idea. If you've been to the lake, you've gotten into a boat.
Yeah.
When you step from the dock into the boat, if you keep 1 foot on the dock and 1 foot in the boat, it ain't long, you're going to get the splits.
You're going to split.
It's going to hurt or you're going to be in the water.
Yeah,
Right.
or in the water,
And
yeah.
I realized I was feeling like I had the splits. I got to take a foot out of something.
Okay.
And I was like, I know what God's saying. I have to put both feet in, full surrender, burn the ship.
Yeah. Riding the fence will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Yeah. So that's when, so we started doing this YouTube channel, and my reach just from that exponentially grew bigger than my live audience that I was touring. So in the first year we had over 1 million people watch the channel, and I was like, wow, that's unbelievable. And that's way more
What's
than
the channel called?
It's Moto Mission with Brock Gill.
Great. Okay.
Yep.
That's amazing. Dude, so I got to tell you this. I feel like there are probably guys, maybe gals too, watching that your story right there is where many of them find themselves somewhere in the middle of that. I can even attest. This is where I found myself even recently, where I was like, I'm straddling 2 different worlds. I'm trying to do one thing over here while doing something that's so opposite and doesn't complement, but I'm like, no, I can do this. And it doesn't work. Like God literally is going, if you would just listen to me, trust me, I'm good. I truly am. And just follow what I'm saying. So to hear your story is like, even for me, I'm ministered to in that. It really blesses me. So I want to, hear you, or rather have you hear me say, that's so encouraging.
He can be trusted.
Yeah.
And he's always putting us in positions where it's an opportunity for us to learn that he can be trusted, because that's the whole point of this, right? He's making us more like him, showing who he is. Yeah. And oftentimes we think, well, I want my life to get better. And he goes, no, I want your life to get worse so that you'll see the better thing. And he won't promise certain things like he's not going to promise, hey, if you'll just do this, I'll make you a millionaire. That's not what he's doing, right?
He's not desperate.
He's just, no, not at all. He just goes, trust me.
Yeah.
It's with a question mark. It's trust me.
Yeah.
If so, come on. And it's full surrender. And that's the part that that's the learning continually, is just, he can be trusted. And even when it doesn't make sense, if you hear his voice, that's the key though.
Yep.
Not your ambition. Because ambition will get you in trouble.
It can steer you in the wrong things for sure.
Yeah.
Being really great at
people say follow your heart.
Thing,
God says don't follow your heart. That's the last thing you should follow. Jeremiah says if you follow your heart, it's the most deceitful thing on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do not follow your heart. Listen to God's voice.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So that's sometimes the battle. Like, who am I hearing in there? And when you recognize God's voice, follow that. Listen to him. Trust him.
Yeah.
That's when change happens. That's the good stuff.